Hi folks, I'm going to take a look at VM warp and VM roll, which are ways in Foundry to change the block the timestamp and the block number. And before I do that though, I must have been asleep when I recorded the other video because I actually forgot to do the token approval in order to take tokens into the contract. So I'm just going to do that real quickly here. So, sorry, not checks, it's interactions. Interactions. So what I've done is it didn't really matter from the point of view of testing the contract because you still got the flavour of what we were trying to do. So we were trying to import the ERC20 mock and we were creating the mock and they were minting tokens and passing them into the contract. The only problem was we didn't do the approval down here. We didn't get Bob to do an approval like you would when you're using Uniswap or Aave or anything like that before you actually deposit tokens into the contract. You have to give approval to the contract to spend your tokens. I skipped over that because I was rushing through it. So we're going to do it now. And what we need to do is we need to import IERC20 so as that our contract knows how to interact with a token. So go up here, so Open Zeppelin contracts, and let me see IERC20. So I'm just going to copy the path there, copy relative path. I'm just going to import it up here. Import IERC20 from. Okay, save that. Down here we're just going to do, so it's going to be our token, which is going to be the one we passed in, so token, and we're going to have to wrap it as an IERC20, there we go. And what we're doing here is we are transfer from, I think takes 3, yeah, message of sender, so it's from, and then a 2 is going to be the address.this, and then we're going to say the amount, so it's amount, so that should be it. So that should allow us to accept the tokens into the contract. We have our ERC20, our token, transfer from, the message I'll send there to this contract, and that's the amount. Yeah, that's fine. And then when we're doing it in our test, what we need to do is, similar to when you're using dApps online and MetaMask will pop up to say to do the token approval, what we'll do is we'll do it in here. So we're going to say it's allowed, test token, and it is dot approve, and we're going to say approve. So I think it's approve, I think it's spender, I think it's just spender, which will be, I think we need to do rapid address, wallet, and we'll say 999, so that should be plenty more than we need. That's it, what's going on here? Oh, that's okay. Okay, is that all we need to do there? I think that is. We just need to do the approval, so the token approve. I'll try and do the test now. So forge test, let me see if it passes. Yeah, so there we go. So just do. Okay, so yeah, you can see where the approval is being done and then the deposit. So that's grand. So look, that's working as expected. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to doing VM warp and VM roll for the block the timestamp and block number. Okay, so I'm just going to switch back over to our token wallet, and what we're going to do here is we are going to do a function, and it's just going to be withdraw tokens. Again, it's going to be similar to above, address, token, UNT 256, UNT 256, amount, public, checks, effects, interactions. Just so I know what I'm doing here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a couple of requires, and what we're really doing is, so the first require is going to be, we're going to say that we want to block the timestamp. The timestamp to be greater than, and we will say 500. Okay, otherwise, time has not elapsed. And then we'll also do require block dot number. We say that we want that to be greater than 100. Otherwise, block number has not been reached. And we'll also say require, and we'll just do require. Just make sure they have that the amount is less than or equal to the balances that the user has. Balances message sender. Otherwise, not enough token balance in contract. Okay. And for the effects, get to pass those. We're just going to do balances of message.sender. Take away whatever they put through, which is the amount. Then what we're going to do is transfer the tokens out. So it is it's all ERC20. We have to wrap it again. Token. We're going to do just going to do transfer this time because it's on the way out from the contract, and we transfer it to message.sender. And the amount of tokens is going to be the amount that they've requested. Okay, so that should be it. So we're doing a couple of checks here. Essentially, this acts as a time lock. We're saying that we need this timestamp to have been reached, and also we call it a block number lock as well. That we have to this block has to be mined as well. And then we're just doing regular checks on the amount to make sure they have enough to transfer out. So if we were to, what we'll do is switch over to our tests. We just write a new test here. What I'll do is I'm going to just write the test as if there's no draw tokens, as if there's no time lock on it. So what we'll do is, first thing we'll do is we're going to need this. We're going to need to deposit some within this test function. So we just do the exact same as before. We're just going to get Bob to deposit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tokens into the contract. And then what we're going to do is we will do, so he's deposit, actually we can pop it in there really, but I might just, yeah, I'll pop it in here so we can do it here. So he's depositing tokens and then he's going to withdraw tokens, okay? So what we're doing here is we're going to do wallet.withdraw tokens, and we want to say address, same as above actually, allow test tokens. This time we're going to take out 1, 2, 3, 000. And the reason I'm doing that is that it'll leave 456 in the contract. Withdraw tokens. Oh, here we go. Take this one off. Okay. So what that'll do is Bob will deposit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tokens, and then he'll take that many out. What we'll do then is we're going to do a check. We're going to do assert equals. And we're going to do, and once again, I'll do it similar to what I did, in fact, almost the same. I'm going to just copy this here. It's going to be the same. We're just going to check the balances. Do this. But this time, we're going to say that Bob's balance, because once we've taken out these amount of tokens, there should be only 456 left. So we're going to say 456. So when we've done this, we deposit those tokens, we take out that many, should be 456 left. Now, so this would work if there wasn't a time lock on it, I think. I'm just going to do forge test. All I'll do is I'll just go match test. -- match test. Now this should fail. There we go. So it's hitting our first require, saying time is not elapsed, okay? Which is fine, because that's what we're expecting. What we'll do here is we're going to do VM warp, and warp is to change the block.timestamp, okay? So if we switch back to our contract just to quickly look, we know what it is, 500 as far as I know. So we need to be more than 500, so we're going to just say that we want the timestamp to be 600. And what should happen now is we should hit the next revert. There we go. So we're after getting past the timestamp because we wanted to be higher than 500, and we're after doing VM warp, and we're saying actually make the block the timestamp 600, and that's getting past our first require, okay? But now we're hitting the block number, which we said we wanted to be more than 100. So what we'll do now is we're going to, just after this, we're going to do VM roll. We're going to just say make the block 200, and this should get by it now. I'll go back in here. Just going to clear this. There we go. And there we go. Now it's passing. Because what we've done now is every one of our requires is we're getting past every one of our requires here. We set the block timestamp to 600, so it's getting past it. We've set the block number to 200, and again, we've already deposited enough tokens that we can withdraw. And what we're doing is we're saying that again, once we've take this many out, we should have 456 remaining. And if we do this, let's do clear dash VV just to get the full stack. There you go. Token wallet balance is 456. So yeah, that's VM warp and VM roll. Just a quick video on how to do it and how to manipulate time and block numbers within Foundry.